Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot. It's your girl coming at you with another pick a card reading. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey, this channel, this ever-growing tribe. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. For those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Should these messages happen to resonate with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you can always check out the description box where you'll find all the links necessary. You can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships, but if not, thank you for your continued support here. Today we are doing a very powerful message from your inner child. Let's go ahead and hop to the prayer and get to this reading. All right. Okay, my beloved source, this prayer is for any and all who come onto this reading, whether it's for a moment's time or for the entire time. I ask that you open us up to the healing of our inner child, that we may begin to see the world through the eyes of the miraculous child and the wonderment that comes with that, and seeing the magic and the potential and the beauty and everything that surrounds us. That sometimes life is bleak. And sometimes it feels like we'll never see goodness, or we'll never see success, or we'll never see our manifestations. And knowing that this is just an illusion, that things take time to manifest in this very dense realm, and that we oftentimes are so caught up in what it is that we see that we begin to believe what we're seeing with our eyes and not what we know is true within our hearts. And this time I ask that you bring us that connection, that mind-heart connection, that mind-body truth. And I ask that it reverberates out from us, and that we do not question whether or not we're going to manifest what it is that we desire in this life, but we continue to stay present in this moment, knowing that we can only work and not worry, that we can show up in a space of truth and allow you to create the life of our dreams around us as we continue to see through eyes of wonder, through hearts of joy, and to smile and laugh our way into healing. As these words are spoken unto this tribe and unto this reading, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Asay. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and get that setup out of the way. All right. So today we are going to be using the Talisman Oracle cards. It's been a while since I brought these out, and I absolutely love them so much. So I thought it was time to bring these out, and this felt like such a fitting reading for them to come out on, as it's 3:33 on the clock. Let me give these a quick shuffle, and then we'll go ahead and pick them and get your reading underway. All right, so source for pile number 1, what Talisman Oracle card will help us better understand the powerful message from pile number 1's inner child? Okay, thank you. Source for pile number 2, what Talisman Oracle card will help us better understand the powerful message from pile number 2's inner child? For pile number 2, thank you. And for pile number 3, source, what Talisman Oracle card will help us better understand the powerful message from pile number 3's inner child? Okay, thank you. On the bottom collective message, we have willpower. Your inner child coming in as a collective message saying it is okay for you to be powerful. It is okay for you to claim your life and your manifestations. All right, so let me get these set up real quick here. Make sure we're in frame. For pile number 1, we do have this beautiful grape agate. Okay. Pile number 2, we have this beautiful piece of natural jasper. Okay. And pile number 3, we have this beautiful piece of green aventurine. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Whichever one you're drawn to, that should be the pile for you. And with that being said, I will see you over on your chosen reading. Hello, my fellow humans. If you were drawn to this beautiful grape agate here, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your powerful message from your inner child. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this channel, this journey, this ever-growing tribe. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Should these messages happen to resonate, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. With that being said, though, let's go ahead and hop to your messages and find out what is the powerful message from pile number 1's inner child. What is a powerful message from pile number 1's inner child? What do they need to know at this time? What is a powerful message from pile number 1's inner child? Okay, so we've got the 12th house, Capricorn energy, and Uranus. Interesting. It's about claiming your inner power. And it's interesting that this would come out for you, pile 1, because the collective message on the bottom of the deck was willpower, right? It was willpower, this card here. And if you watch the shuffle, you'll know this is something that's very connective to that. And usually pile 1 really connects with the prayer that I have, but this is like that collective message energy coming in, where it's like really connecting with your power, your internal power, and owning your spiritual self, right? Not feeling bad about your gifts, or not even like questioning. I feel like for a long time, maybe you've questioned whether or not your gifts were real. Even though you've gotten tons of synchronicities, even though you've gotten tons of clarity that this is something that really does exist within you, right? But there's like a feeling of shame or guilt, or maybe you grew up in a family that was very religious and said that to have a gift like that is a sin, or to have a gift like that is product of something very negative, right? And your inner child here is wanting you to just let that go as best as you can, right? It's going to be a process. You can't just wake up tomorrow and say, just let go of that belief. But once you start facing that and knowing that this gift that resides within you is of the highest light and love, this is of the highest divine source, and that it was given to you because you are the one that can carry this through, then you begin to unravel that feeling of like, oh my gosh, I was not meant for this. Like, why would I be the one that carried this? Like, why would source ever give me a gift like that if, like I grew up in this terrible situation where everyone says, oh, I'm a witch, or I'm something that, and I don't think witches are bad, but the connotation and the notion that we have, that societal belief, and you think about that, right? Anything that is supernatural, immediately people tie negativity towards it, because they're saying none of us are supernatural, so you must be unnatural. But the truth is we're all supernatural in our own way, because we're all spiritual here having this human experience. And so when we look at it that way, we can begin to understand like, okay, wow, we've just misjudged our own abilities. And that's exactly what it feels like your inner child is saying here, is that in misjudging your own abilities or questioning your own abilities, you've made it exponentially harder for yourself, and unbeknownst to you. It's not like you meant to do this to yourself, right? But your inner child is trying to just bring that in and saying like, we deserve to have fun with this gift. We deserve to see it as the beautiful thing that it is, and we deserve to embrace it. And you could have been someone who had the sight at a young age. Like, you could have had the gift of foresight, and you were predicting things at a young age and it freaked your family out. Or you could have seen relatives that passed on and had conversations with those relatives and that freaked your family out. Or like, even, it's just something that you have that freaked others out, and they put it on you that you should be ashamed of this and that you should block it. And it's like you're uncovering it now, and you're working really hard to uncover it. 4:44 on the clock. You're working really hard to find stability and foundation with it. There's still identity that's attached to, I should feel ashamed of this part of myself. And your inner child says that the minute that you let that go, you release old baggage and old karma that's keeping you small. And in releasing that, you come into this place of feeling free, and you make sudden progression in your life, and you feel good about who you are. And that's all your inner child wants for you, because that's all your inner child ever wanted growing up. Right? So let's see what else we've got coming out. We're going to check the cards now and see what comes through here. All right. So pile number 1, what is the message from the inner child? What is a powerful message here from the inner child for pile number 1? Yeah, this is where you find stability in all things in your life. Financial, love, your material possessions, spiritually. It actually comes through you accepting this part of yourself and knowing there's no reason to feel ashamed of it. And logically, I feel like logically, pile 1, you're like, I know I shouldn't be ashamed of it, but there's still like, how when it's like you're like looking around the corner for a shadow figure, or you're scared that there's going to be a monster that pops out of the closet. That's kind of like that feeling that I'm getting right now. Like, I want to put my feet under the sheet, because I'm afraid that if I leave them outside of the covers, something bad is going to happen. There's going to be a monster that crawls out under the bed. That's the only way that I can explain it, because that's the feeling that I'm getting. It's like it's something that's creeping and crawling in the dark. And that's right away an indication that that's a part of your shadow self coming out. And that this is something that wasn't yours to hold on to, wasn't yours to carry. That belief, it wasn't. It was other people's problem with this gift that you have. And yeah, and now it's time for you to see that this is part of you and something that deserves to be loved and cherished, because it's a part of who you are, and it's a part of your strength. It's also a part of your ascension process, is to really own this gift. Could be mediumship, it could just be being a psychic, and never think that one is less or more than the other. All of them have such a powerful it's a powerful statement in this life. And it doesn't matter if it's art or music, or if it's psychic gifts, or if it's the gift of gab, whatever it is, each one is so powerful in its own right. And so never feel like yours is inferior to another's, because it's not. Okay, it's different, and that's where the beauty comes from. And so this is something about embracing your strength. Yeah, and reconnecting with that part of yourself emotionally, and knowing that this is something that's worth celebrating, especially with the 3 of Cups here. It's like, this is about you unearthing a part of yourself that you didn't feel was worthy of celebrating. And it does have to do with something very spiritual, something that's very unknown, right? And and it could be writing, it could be, automatic writing, it could be talking with the angels, it could be talking with higher beings, this could be talking with the ancestors. And I know these are more psychic gifts that are coming through, but with the 12th house, it is pointing at something that's like that, that's grander than that. You could be a channel through your music for divine messages. You could be a channel through your art for divine messages, but it's necessary for that. Yeah. Interesting. There's someone here that's been on the journey with you for a while, that you two are like this, right? And you guys are very close, and you've gone through a lot together. But there's also something here with the 3 of Swords in the reverse that's talking about how it feels like you're always taking 1 step forward to take 2 steps back, or to take 10 steps back. And it's because there's something that's holding you back, and it might come from this connection. This connection could be part of a burden. It's not that this person doesn't believe in you, or even if they do, it's not about there, but there may be a want here to get validation from this person about your gifts, and they may not want to give it. Let's see what's under here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is someone who doesn't want to give it, with the Queen of Coins coming out. This is someone who is very much driven by peer pressure, and so they may not want to peer pressure you, or they may be peer pressuring you. Okay, but your inner child is also pointing out here. We have the mother wound with the Queen of Coins here. Someone who's very overbearing, controlling, wanted you to appear a certain way to others, and your inner child is crying out to be accepted here, okay? And it's the gift that's tied to your inner child, and it's so weird that that's how it happens, but that's something that's so powerful on our journey, is when we begin to understand that the more we embrace the part of ourselves that we tried to run away from because it was getting ostracized, or because we were judged, or because we were even exiled in some cases from our family, or disowned, or, you know, whatever it was. Like, when we accept that part, we actually open up to the gifts that lie inside. And that's exactly what this feels like. And this is a bit of a transformation for you. There's a bit of stagnancy that's coming through. But once you honor your internal power and say, I deserve to be celebrated because of this gift, this talent, this skill, whatever it is that's coming through, I deserve to be celebrated. But more importantly, regardless of other people, I deserve to celebrate myself. And it's in celebrating yourself that you allow the transformation to come through. So whatever was holding you back, whatever was making you feel like you didn't belong, that begins to dissipate upon celebrating yourself and giving that love and support to yourself about this gift that you wanted and desired as a child. It's like if you came to your mom or your dad and you were like, Mom, Dad, you know, Grandpa who passed away is here, and Grandpa has this message and he's saying this, and they're freaking out and they're saying, no, you're just crazy. That's imaginary friends. You're too old for that. Like, you shouldn't be imagining things like that. Like, you need to get over that. You need to box that away. People are going to send you to the nut house or whatever it is. Okay. And this is just the example they're showing me. What they're saying is that whatever it is that you needed, that moment that happened, how can you be there for yourself like that right now? And that's what your inner child is saying. Love me the way that you needed someone else to love me when we were that age. I need you to love me and accept me in that way. And when that happens, we begin to grow into something that is profound and powerful and strong and capable of bringing great change to those around us, because we're really owning a part of ourselves. And you may already be exploring your gifts and your talents and your skills. You may already be pouring into those, but it just feels like maybe there's just one part of you that's blocked. And I feel like the reason that that's blocked is because at a young age, and I'm seeing between the ages of 3 and 11 here, at a young age, you were told that we don't act like that. But you know, when you're that old and this is coming out, it's you're not thinking. You see Grandpappy over there. Grandpappy's real, right? It's not something that it's like I should be afraid of that or not, because it's like you're seeing the spirit realm because you just left Source's arms. You know, the younger we are, the more connected to the divine we are, because the less baggage we have on our shoulders from the physical world. And so that's what your internal child is saying here. It's like the important message here is that you have this very powerful gift that's meant to help change the frequencies in this world. And you're meant to experience this huge progression with it as well. And that comes from you giving that love that you need desperately to yourself. And sometimes it's really hard because we've been taught to be disgusted about that part of ourselves, or we've been taught to be hateful towards that part of ourselves. And instead it's like, can you sit down and look at yourself in the mirror, or even look at a younger picture of you and just say, I love you, and fall in love with yourself, and just say, it's okay that we experienced this. It's okay that we went through this. It's okay, because we're not there now. right? And that's what you're saying okay to. It's not that it's okay that they treated you that way. It's not okay that they made you feel that way about yourself. What is you're saying it's okay to your inner child is that it's okay because we're not there anymore. And we can cry about this, and we can be mad about this, and we get to feel however we feel about this. But I want to know how you feel. And so taking that time and stepping away from your day-to-day and really just asking your inner child, how do you need to feel so that we can embrace this part of ourselves, and taking that space and that time day after day to do so. And don't let the flame go out. Right? The flame just went out. I have another candle over here, but it just went out. Don't let the flame go out. Right? Knowing that you can relight the flame. The embers are always burning. Right? And I apologize. You're going to see my massive torch here. I don't have matches. So the torch it is. And that's what your inner child is calling for. And this is turned into a huge part of your shadow side. And that's really what healing the inner child is getting in touch with our shadow side and saying it's okay. You're not separate from me. You're a part of who I am, and you get equal love as much as everything else. So let's see what else comes out here for you. Yeah, we have fire. Okay, Aries, Leo, Sag. We have confidence, optimism, passion, and bravery. And this is going to bring back a lot of emotions of passion to your life, a lot of bravery, a lot of feeling good about yourself, being able to express yourself freely. I feel like you loving your inner child this way is going to let you just be you wherever you go. It's like authenticity on point. And we have Earth on the bottom, persistence, patience, and practicality with Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Again, Capricorn energy. Be patient with yourself and be forgiving and give yourself grace, because you're not going to be able to do this in one go, right? Like, it's not like you're going to wake up tomorrow and suddenly it's all going to be how it was supposed to be. It doesn't work that way. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes practice, and that's okay. Be patient with yourself. Okay, we have guide on the bottom, represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. Yeah, reconnecting to ancient wisdom here, but also this is showing me that you could absolutely be a psychic medium, the ability to channel from other realms as well. Sorry, I didn't see the light there. But the shadow attribute is places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. Yeah, so showing that the world, the physical world, is what has kept you from being this guide in the world. And that's okay, right? When you don't know, you don't know. But if you spend all this time beating yourself up for something you don't know, then you just make that burden even heavier. And they're just asking for your acceptance. Your inner child here is asking for that acceptance and love and grace. Okay, time for a beginner mindset. Yeah, your learnings, and that's why I feel like this whole time, like, you're learning about your gift. You're going out of your way to understand this about yourself. And it's just with 48, we have 12, and 12 is all about your perspective, right? Changing the way you see yourself, knowing that you're worthy of carrying this gift. It could only ever be you, pile one. It couldn't be someone else. Like, transformation is beautiful. We have number 11 here on the bottom of the deck, and I can't make this up. We have number 22 with Dragonfly Spirit. Truth transcends. No! What the heck just happened? I was going to say, if that is 44, but we did get 49. If that was 44, I'm next level. We have 11. 22 and 33 showing up on the bottom of the deck for your reading. Transformation is beautiful. Truth transcends illusion, and freedom is yours. I've never had that happen before. Never. Not once. That's incredible. This is a transformative period for you when you understand that this is your reality. This is your truth, is your gift. Not the emotions that were left upon you by others. Your gift is your truth, and that's okay, because that's where you find your freedom. Be a wild stallion. Go out there and express yourself. I'm going to leave this like this. This is next level. Holy Toledo, pile one. And that's master numbers, 11, 22, and 33. Those are master numbers coming out. That is like a huge synchronicity. I don't think I've ever had that happen. I've had some cool things happen, but I don't think I've ever had 3 master numbers show up like that in the same deck in a row. That is next level. On the bottom, we have number 31. Yeah, cycles with hair. And then isn't that interesting? Another synchronicity. We have rabbit spirit with now is a lucky time, right? So you're clearing out cycles and patterns so that you can bring in a luck, so that you can let yourself be seen, right? And that's what your inner child wants. They want you to see that you're naturally lucky, you're naturally abundant. We have to let go of these old no, I'm done. I'm over it. That's crazy. We had the childhood card pop out, just flying in nonchalantly into your reading like, hey y'all, what's up? What's up? We have innocence, shining a light on the inner child. You deserve love. You deserve love. 2002 on the, or yeah, 2002. Like 22 again, 22. Yeah, so you might see 222 a lot. On the bottom, we do have full moon and completion. This is the completion of a cycle. It's like when you choose to love this part of yourself and recognize that you are worthy of carrying this gift, because there's no one else that can carry it the way that you do. When you recognize that and you own that, suddenly everything comes together for you. It's like you bring in abundance, you bring in spiritual ascension, you bring in that creative energy that you've been looking for, that confidence. Everything comes together. Come together right now over me. Doom, doom, doom. Right? Okay, Beatles. Let's get an archangel message out as well for this reading. What else would you like to say for the inner child for pile number 1? What's the important message here? Thank you. They want that one too. On the bottom, we have all is in perfect timing. This is it. It's time to take action now. I will be here to help you every step of the way. It's time for you to walk through the portal, the gateway. It's time for you to know that it's okay for you to love yourself. It's okay for you to be seen. It is safe for you. You belong. We're going to check out the shadow attributes that are coming out to play in this reading. On the bottom, we have up in the air, not able to make solid plans, flighty, and ungrounded. And that makes sense, right? Like not being grounded in who you are. Of course, that makes sense. So let's see what we've got going on here. We have student. Oh my gosh, this is next level. We have light attributes, humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. Shadow is arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. And I feel like that's what you've dealt with, is people who don't want to translate knowledge into action. It's just like, no, I know what I know, but I don't want to change how I feel about it, right? And then there's this energy coming in where it's like you coming into learning about your gifts. And the more you learn about your gifts, the more you open up to that validation that you need from yourself. Look, number 11. Oh my gosh, we have power and deer. 1111 coming out. You don't get a much more transformative energy than that. We have 2 moons coming out together here, all about your emotions, right? It's okay for you to love yourself. This is where your power comes from. This is where the power comes from internally. Oh, I love your reading. We've got 1111. We had 1 on the bottom of the Archangel Michael deck. Like, this is just next level. No. What is happening to your pile 1? Like, whoa. Look at this. Open your heart. No one is perfect. Stop judging yourself and others and let love heal this situation. Like, this is a very clear message. Love yourself the way you needed to be loved. We got 22. We got 11. We got 11. We got 22. This is 33. I'm done. I'm turning off the camera. Goodbye. Okay, we got 23. Pray from the heart. Prayer can really move mountains. Reach out to the divine with your heart's concerns and watch miracles unfold. Oh my gosh, this is such a powerful reading. And then we have tangled, unable to free yourself from a sticky situation. Taking a step back helps you see clearly. Yeah, it's like I'm stuck on feeling that this is the way things are. I'm stuck on feeling that this is the way things have to be, but that's not at all the truth. That's just someone else's thought patterns coming to play in your life right now. And the more that you learn about your gifts and the more that you allow yourself to experience those gifts, whatever they are, the freer you're going to feel, okay? And the more connected to yourself you're going to feel, and the more you can open up your heart to loving yourself, okay? This comes from how you feel. With the moon, we've got the full moon twice here. This is a super moon. And then you have the full moon. This is the moon coming in twice, showing this is the subconscious feelings that you have about yourself in regards to this. So opening up to how much this is meant to be a part of you and letting that be your truth, because it is, will help you free yourself from whatever you're tangled to or whatever the beliefs are that you're tangled to. Let's take a look at your talisman oracle card. We have passion. Look, deer, and this is a stag. Oh my gosh. Your reading is next level synchronistic. This is almost too much for me. Like, what? Okay. Here's the insignia for this card. We have allow your passion to rise up. Sometimes we try to suppress our desires to fit in the social expectations and norms. But we can use this powerful force to thrive in a personal or professional matter. Our passion for life is immense because it comes from a place of love. Exactly. It's exactly what I was feeling at the beginning. This feeling is the ultimate and most powerful energy that we can emit. Be passionate about what you do and believe. Do not carry out decisions based on fear, worry, guilt, or shame. I could not have summed this up better. Holy Toledo, pile one. That state of mind can only bring the same type of negative feelings back to you. Choose the best version of yourself and project that passion out into the universe. The affirmation is, love is powerful. Wow. This message today is so, I love this. Thank you, pile one, for letting me connect with you in this powerful way. This was truly a beautiful reading. If you feel like this is your reading, leave 1111 down below and say, I open up my heart to loving my inner child so fiercely that it will forever feel safe and protected on the journey moving forward. And if you felt like this was your reading and it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you're to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links in the description box in order to do so. You can email me if you're interested in a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships. But if not, thank you so much for your continued support here. I am going to go ahead and leave this here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to give a shout out to your inner child for coming through, your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for giving us this incredibly powerful message. And until next time, pile number one, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful natural jasper, or if you were drawn to this card right here during this shuffle, then this is going to be your urgent message from your inner child. Or I'm sorry, your very powerful message from your inner child. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey, this channel, this ever-growing tribe. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for those of you new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. With that being said, though, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what is the very powerful message from pile number two's inner child. What is a very powerful message from pile number 2's inner child? What is a very powerful message from pile number 2's inner child? What would you like to say here today? What is a very powerful message from pile number 2's inner child? All right, so we got the 7th house, the North Node, and Aries energy. Okay. Part of your North Node is having solid connections in your life, like a soul tribe. And I feel like you may have been very lonely for a huge part. And I can't make this up. I don't know if you saw that or not, but I just saw a wisp go along this. And right before I started your reading, pile 2, I got a couple of messages, and I'm being reminded of that. But I saw a whole bunch of wisps and spirit. I call them spirit streams because I don't know what else to call them. Out of my left eye, I kept seeing spirit streams. They were like all over. It didn't matter where I was looking at, where I turned, I kept calling them. Right now, when I was putting the block in, there was a spirit stream that went across the screen like that. And I don't know if you could see that or not. Okay, so not everybody can see them. I'm just saying, like, I just saw it, and I just have to mention it. Also, I got the message that 44 is an incredibly powerful number for you. You might see that quite a bit. So this is showing me that maybe you have the gift of being able to see spirits. And if not, maybe that's what you're uncovering. You're meant to have a tribe. And it's interesting because I feel like this is like coven tribe. And I know not everybody believes in being a witch or whatever, but it's like, that's what it feels like. This is just people who are very close to you, who believe the exact same things that you do, are very much similar to what you believe. And they're going to help lift you up and not bring you down. And I feel like for you, pile 2, you've been very, very lonely. And the very powerful message from your inner child is this, that you're meant to have incredible connections, interconnected, interpersonal connections. You're meant to have a very beautiful love life. You're meant to have incredible soul tribe friends on your journey. And they're meant to be a very passionate part of your life. And they're helping you to embrace courage even further than what you've already embraced on your own. It's almost like 3:33 on the clock. You've come into this place of being able to do everything that you need and moving yourself ahead in ways that you didn't think you could before. And you've let go of so much. And you come into this place of being completely comfortable with being solo on your journey, because it seems like every time you connect with people, it's like something happens and you just like you fade apart, right? And sometimes maybe it is because you're like, oh no, I can't do this anymore. It's because you realize you're not aligned, or it's because this person just goes silent and ghosts you or whatever it is. But it's like, that's what it feels like. You've just been very alone, and your inner child is saying, like, we're meant to have friends. I do feel like you're very sociable when it comes down to it, even though you do like your solitary time. But it's like saying here that there's meant to be very powerful connections here on your journey. And when I say powerful, these are like going to be big bangs in your life. Like when you connect with your soul tribe, it is going to start a whole new chapter in your life in many, many different ways in your life. It's going to really affect you in a very powerful way. And so that's the start here, but let's see if we could get some more about this and see what else is coming through in regards to this. And I feel like your inner child is just trying to give you hope. And, you know, we're always there trying to connect with our inner child and remind it that it's so loved and reminded that it's needed and that it's held and supported. I feel like sometimes our inner child knows that, and it's just coming back and saying, like, I appreciate all the work that you've done to connect with me, but I also want to remind you of a part of yourself that maybe you've forgotten about, you know. And that's why you're sociable. That's why you're someone who gets along well in crowds. And you know, you might get overwhelmed by too many people if you stay out too long. But I feel like you are someone who's like a chameleon. You're able to blend in with a lot of different people. It's like you don't really have a personality because you're everybody's personality. I hope that makes sense. But like when you're by yourself, you're more just peaceful. And so there's a really weird noise. I stopped talking. I don't know if you heard that, but there was like a do 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 do, do. And yeah, so I feel like you listen to music a lot too. I mean, who doesn't? But no, like, music is really a huge part of your life. So, oh, okay. Someone has a metal detector outside. Okay. So they just walked by. That's why I was like, what is that noise? Yeah, so maybe you like metal. Maybe you like metal music or heavy metal music. And that's something that maybe not a lot of people know about you. And your inner child is saying, like, that's stuff that's okay to share. It's okay to be vulnerable. I feel like you're scared to share parts of yourself. It's like maybe you're someone who blends in so well with everyone. If they saw this or knew this one part about yourself that you've loved ever since you were a kid, or like heavy rock, or maybe even like gothic rock or something like that, like, it just doesn't seem to fit the personality. But it's because no one actually knows your personality, because you're such a chameleon. Like, it really feels like you're a chameleon. You're just really good at blending in and being a part of the collective, because you feel so much. You could be a very acute empath. Like, a lot of empaths who have very strong empathic abilities are able to do that chameleon. Yeah, you're definitely a manifester, but you have everything that you need here. I do feel like you've been let down a lot by people in your life, though. And that's why you're alone. Like, you've learned from the past that it's okay to walk alone, and it's okay to be that stability in your life. And it's better than dealing with people who are going to treat you badly, or it's better than dealing with people who are going to step on your toes to get ahead, or it's better than dealing with people who only want to have a reputation or to have status in life. And your inner child is saying, like, you've learned so much. Like, look, this is an older person, right? This king is older than this magician, right? And as the magician, which I feel is being represented by you, it's like, as a younger person, you've learned far more wisdom than people who are older and supposedly wiser than you. And it could have been family as well. And that might be why you struggle with relationships. You have a hard time with the masculines in your family, or someone who's a Virgo or a Gemini or a Capricorn. Okay, so we have the Devil reversed, the 10 of Swords reversed, and the 4 of Swords. Yeah. Okay, this is exactly what I was feeling with these two cards, right? It's like there's someone here who has created a void in your life, or who's created a rift. That's what it was. A rift in your life. Someone who has made a lot of arguments and emotional exhaustion in your life, and your inner child sees that, and they see that, like, this could be a father, this could be a grandfather, this could be an uncle, this could be someone who has one of those signs I mentioned, this could be even a mother who's very masculine, who resides in that masculine energy, very action oriented, right? It's not just down to genders, it's just, this is a very masculine energy, right? Yeah. And with the 4 of Swords here, we see this is someone who is completely strangled by peer pressure. Like, they only want to fit into what the world around them sees as reality. And if I'm different than what the world around me sees as reality, then I stick out like a nail and the nail gets hammered, right? Like, that's the feeling that I'm getting here. It's like they don't want to get hammered. They don't want to get judged. They don't want to be thrown aside. And it's like, you can't blend in, pile 2. You've never been able to blend in. It's just not within your nature to blend in. And it doesn't mean that you don't love deeply, though. I feel like the thing is here that you love deeply. In fact, you may have an obsessive type of love that you've had to heal greatly within yourself, and that has left you feeling completely betrayed by everyone that you've ever met, because you have such a deep type of love within you. And then when the emotional ego and the wounded part of yourself was playing in this chapter of your life, it's like the wounded child would get so attached that abandonment was such an issue, and the fear of abandonment would leave you in this possessive type love or obsessive type love, right? Like, where I'm gonna pour everything I have into this person so that they can see how much I truly love them, but then have nothing left for yourself. And we see with the magician looking back at this, that you finally at some point have said, okay, I've given so much emotionally and I've given so much mentally that I'm going to lay those parts of myself out on the table. And instead, I'm going to focus on what I can take action towards, what I can build, right? And that's what we see here with the magician. He's holding the coin, he's holding the wand. It's about taking action towards the material, the physical world things here, and still being unsure because you're a person who's very heart-centered. Okay, you may be a Cancer. You may have Cancer very highly aspect in your chart. And you may also have an air trine. Yeah, that's what was coming through. You might also have a Libra moon and a Libra Venus. Okay. So we see here, it's just very heart-centered, and it's like, I want everybody to feel this love, and I want to receive this love that I give, but the fear from the wounded child, the fear from the wounded part of yourself created this imbalance, where it was like you couldn't receive. You could only give, and you were put in tons of situations where you could only give, and there are people who took advantage of that. There are people who left you on your last leg of energy because of that. There are people who just didn't see your worth because they just figured pile 2's always going to be around, and pile 2's always going to be giving to me, and pile 2's never going to leave. And I feel like you've left a lot of situations, and in that I do feel like you have absolutely put yourself in a lot of solitary confinement situations. It's not even about solitude. Like, you really have just cut yourself off from a lot of people in the world. And so your inner child is wanting to say, like, don't let the present you be ruled by the past problems that we had to experience in our lives because we loved so deeply. It's like you have this beautiful heart-centered gift of love to give to the world, and that love is so valuable. But now that you are beginning to understand just how valuable that love is, that your inner child doesn't want you to give up on the potential of having these beautiful connections in your life, because a part of your path, a part of your destiny, is to have a soul tribe that carries and lifts you up the way that you carry and lift them up. And they're just as heart-centered as you are. And it's like going to be like, man, these are my peeps. Like, where have you been all my life? But you had to go through this healing so that you actually began to understand your value. And that's what the powerful message here is saying, like, don't give up, because you're meant to have these amazing, amazing connections. And they're not connections based on what other people think, or whether you fit in, or whether you're the nail that sticks out. Like, none of that matters. In fact, y'all are going to be a bunch of nails that stick out on some really craggly piece of wood because you're that unique, and people are going to think you're beautiful. And if they don't, it doesn't matter, because you all think you're so beautiful and amazing and talented and wonderful. And that's the only thing that matters. Oh yeah, we have house 3 on the bottom. Early learning, childhood relations, the rational mind, and communication. This is absolutely something that arose from early childhood, right? This is something that you really have been conditioned to believe, that you had to be a certain way. You were made to think that this is the only way that you were ever going to be seen in the world, is that you had to either bend or break, right? And they're saying that no, that's not what your journey is. Your journey is to just be who you are. So we have the engineer on the bottom here. It says the ability to give creative energy a practical expression, talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. And the shadow attribute is reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences. I feel like that's something that you've absolutely dealt with too, is like people have not even cared how they treated you, not realizing how much it hurt you, and your inner child just wants you to love yourself so deeply so that you're ready to receive the type of love that's coming into your life, right? So on the bottom, yes, I love this. We have dear spirit here with bring a gentle touch. It's like saying, like, you have this beautiful energy. Like, it is absolutely phenomenal, the energy that you have. It is so gentle and loving and kind. And it's like a lot of people have never experienced the type of energy that you have, pile number 2. And it's because a lot of people always get stuck in these sticky situations of people who want to argue, or people who don't want to love, or people who are very greedy with their emotions and their energy and their time. And it's like, you're not like that. You don't, it might be one of those things where it's like, I don't even understand those things. Like, how could people be this way? Like, I just don't understand it, because it just doesn't make sense. Part of that is because you're not from this galaxy. You feel like you do derive from a much higher vibrational galaxy as a starseed. But your inner child wants you to embrace that part of yourself, because it's important. And I apologize if you're hearing things going on. We're not with power, and my family is starting the generator out there. And so there's a lot going on right now. We have reciprocity with honeybee on the bottom. Exactly. You're meant to have reciprocal connections in your life. Like, that's a part of your journey. That's something that's very powerful for you on this path. But it's hard. I feel like it's very difficult for you to see that as a part of your journey, because of how many people you've dealt with that just don't like you that way. Hold on just a second. Okay, yeah, so let me get back to this. I just feel like it's just, you've been in really difficult situations, and people have never considered how they might have been hurting you, because most people are so concerned with how, you know, like, they're only concerned with their own feelings. They're not thinking about everyone else. Yeah. And so your inner child is reminding you that it's okay, because now you're learning how to value yourself. And in learning how to value yourself, you're not going to be inviting in people who only want what you have to give, which is a lot. You have a lot to give, okay? Your inner child is saying now that it's okay to let go of these difficult situations, because with lightning coming out and power, we see here that this is a powerful gift that you have to give, but we also see duality at play. It's like, you're the light, and so therefore, for as bright as you are the light, it means that there's something that is equally, to balance out nature, the darkness, right? Without good, evil wouldn't exist, and without evil, good would cease to exist. And that's the duality at play here. And so you've had to come to terms with that duality in this lifetime, because that's the way this realm works. It's a very contrast realm. It's a very up and down type of realm. And in that, when you begin to understand that, the more you understand that, the more you let yourself love without fearing your heart breaking. So it's interesting, because they're playing a song right now. She'd want you to live like the world's on fire. Want you to love like hearts don't break. Never look down when you walk the wire, like she made it to 40 to make your birthday cake. So it's like your inner child is saying, I want you to love like hearts don't break. I want you to live like the world's on fire. Don't want you to give up on that beauty that's inside, because you are not yet seeing how magnificent that is. And that's what's coming through with this. On the bottom, yeah, we have Gaia with nurturing. The love, that kindness, that gift. It's a gift. It's a gift to the world. And it may feel like a burden, because it hurts so badly when someone doesn't love you the same way you love them. And that's why Pile 2, your inner child, is here to say that it is so important for you to love yourself the way you need to be loved. Because you may not run into anybody that loves as deeply as you, even though you're meant to have a soul tribe who does. But it's not looking forward to this soul tribe coming in as much as it is learning to love yourself in this present moment the way you want another person to love you. And that's what attracts your soul tribe in, okay? So we have Archangel Michael is with you now. Even though you can't see it, I am actively working on this situation. I'm here and helping you. Exactly. Okay? You're getting help here. You're getting assistance. We have 26, recognize the signs from above. Angels are sending you messages now, but you're too distracted to notice. Stay alert and open to divine guidance. And I cannot make this up. Didn't I say 44? And this card has 444 on it. Wow, that is next level. Under that, we have let it go. The situation no longer serves you. Allow me to sever your energetic connection to the past so you can embrace the future. And that's exactly what your inner child wants you to do. Wants you to sever that connection to those people who hurt you and betrayed you. Like, yes, you are this beautiful soul, but in order for you to shine your light, you have to be able to let go of those past situations. And in letting them go, that's when you own your power. And in loving yourself, that's when you recognize what it is that was within you that let those people in, or what it is that you learned from those people that made it okay to let more of those individuals into your life. Okay, so we're going to look at the shadow aspect here. We have on the bottom self-righteousness, act spiritually superior, condescending, and preachy. And I feel like this is a type of energy that you had in your life before with the King of Coins in the reverse here. Someone who stepped on your toes, someone who was just felt like they were better than you, I'm bigger than you. You know, definitely condescending. And so it's like that energy of healing that and letting that go is going to take you to the next level. So we do have Mars, exactly. Move forward and defend yourself. I mean, it's a very simple way of putting it. It's time for you to move beyond this situation, to move beyond the broken heart. Your heart was broken, pile 2. And absolutely, there's nothing that takes away from that experience. There's nothing that invalidates that. I'm not here to invalidate that. I'm here to give you the message from your inner child, which is saying we've spent so much time trying to understand why anyone could do that to me, why anyone could do that to anyone. And we haven't moved forward from that. And it's time for us to let that go and say, I deserve to love myself as deeply as I want to be loved. And with that, I know I get to set solid boundaries in this life and not let anybody back into my life that's like that. You know what you don't want, and that's exactly what your inner child is here to tell you. This powerful message is saying you're so much more powerful than you're giving yourself credit for. But we have to find stability in loving ourselves so we can begin to call in that what is destined on our journey. Shapeshifter, we have light attributes, skilled at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything, and the shadow is projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. And this is a perfect example of a fight between the soul and the emotional ego. And I'm going to tell you, when the emotional ego goes up against to fight the soul, if we're not conscious of what's happening, the soul is just going to step out. The soul's not going to battle the emotional ego, because our consciousness is when our soul comes and backs our consciousness. So we have to become consciously aware of where we're at in the moment so that our soul's like, hey, I got your corner, I got your back, I'll help you with your battles. But up until that point, the soul backs out and lets the emotional ego do whatever it's doing. And so you're on this edge. It feels like you're right on the edge here, and it's like teetering either way. And just know that the more you love yourself and the more you're consciously aware of where your emotional ego is taking charge in your life, the easier it will be for your soul to come in and be a backup fighter in your ring. Look, we've got 66. I can't with today with the messages are so synchronistic. We have trust in the magic. You get the white raven spirit. Right? And ravens are spiritual messengers from the divine. And then you have the divine white, which is purity coming in, trusting in the magic. You have the dove out here too. So you may see a lot of white birds or get white feathers. And I feel like that's a message from your inner child reminding you that you are this pure soul. You're in the world, but not of the world. And that's okay. But the more that you ostracize yourself in that way and saying like, of course I'm not of this world. Like no one here gets me. The further away you get from connecting with your soul tribe, because there are people here on this world who are in the same vibratory energy as you and who probably can relate to you on a much, much, much deeper level than anyone else could. And then we have reliability with goat. Yeah, it's time for you to be the stability. And I love that 444 is all about strength, structure, stability, foundation. And then we have goat coming in with stability. And be stubborn. Be stubborn about loving yourself. That's exactly what this feels like. Your inner child coming in is like, be stubborn. If people don't get you, then don't let them in. Just don't let them in. Close that door. It's okay. It's okay to protect yourself. Shadow, hoity-toity. Isn't this interesting? Champagne taste on a beer budget, arrogant and pretentious. And these are just very interesting energies here. So you've had people who've been very hoity-toity, and this is playing a part in your egoic self and the self-righteousness. And that's what I'm saying. It's like both of these energies, I feel like you personally, Pile 2, you don't understand. But just because you don't understand them does not mean that they're not at play within the emotional ego, right? It's not that you yourself are this way. And maybe there are reminiscence of that within your emotional ego. But I feel like your emotional ego, in order to defend itself against these, it's doing something that maybe you're not aware of, and that's what your inner child wants you to become aware of. It's like when you're dealing with people who are like this, what is your immediate response, or more or less, what is your immediate reaction? That's the one. What is your immediate reaction? Because when you understand and know your immediate reaction, then you can begin to become aware of how you can approach a situation from your soul light, from your inner love and unconditional love for self. We're going to check out what your talisman oracle is here. Growth of energy. Ooh, you got the egg. All right, let's see what this says. Growth of energy. Here is the insignia, if you'd like to screenshot it and copy that down and carry it with you. It says, you've been very productive and organized. Okay. Time to prepare for the next step in life. Your creativity is flowing. You've built a nest. And as you look at your potential, the future no longer seems frightening. Everything is in its place, and you are growing the energy for a new life, or a big new project. The 6 petals in the seed of life signify that a blessing is on your path, and you have to take care and nurture your ideas to see them coming to life. This newfound energy is bubbling up, and your excitement is lighting up the room. Don't be surprised if people compliment your looks because of your radiant spirit. This card could also mean pregnancy or child's birth. And it says, I am ready for this new adventure. And I feel like that's exactly what's going on here, is like you're growing beyond this. And it's like I said when I saw the shapeshifter card, I feel like you're right on the edge of coming into this growth of energy and really leaning into that and stepping into your North Node here. And as you step into the North Node, you're going to begin to connect with people who are meant to be there with you. It's just about understanding ourselves. There's no reason to beat yourself up. There's no reason to hold a grudge against everyone else, right? All that does is keep our energy stagnant. It's really about allowing our consciousness to grow to a place of unconditional love, which is acceptance as all as it is in this moment, or as it has been before, and coming into a place of truly knowing that I have control over myself and my actions. And that's what I was saying here. It's like you're on the edge of the sword, and now's the time to defend self and move forward. And in defending self, it's saying I'm no longer going to allow these energies into my life, because I set solid boundaries and I am foundationally in love with myself. Okay, so this is what I see for you here, pile number 2. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little egg emoji down below and say that I am foundationally in love with myself and I set solid boundaries. I feel like that's something that you would benefit from affirming. And if you felt like this resonated with you, it'd mean so much to me if you're to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links in the description box. In order to do so, you can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships, but if not, thank you so much for your continued support here. I do want to give a shout out to your inner child for coming through today. I want to say thank you to your angels, your guides, your spirit messenger, source, and my spirit guides for giving us this powerful message. You're such a beautiful soul, and I'm so honored to be able to get to connect with you in this way today, Pile 2. With that being said, I'm going to get on out of here, and until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of green aventurine, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on the powerful message from your inner child, a very powerful message from your inner child. First, I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey, this channel, this ever-growing tribe. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Should these messages happen to resonate, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find those links below in the description box. If you hear that thumping, that is my dog. She's itching right now. So, all right, let's hop into it, guys. So for pile number 3, inner child of pile number 3, what is a very powerful message that you have for pile number 3 today? Inner child of pile number 3, what is a very powerful message you have for them today? What is a very powerful message that you have, inner child of pile number 3? What'd you like to say today? All right, so we've got the 5th house, Libra energy, and Jupiter. Feels like there's a lot of things that are balancing out for you. Pile number 3, some good news. It's okay. Like, I loved all the piles today. They were actually all very synchronistic and not so, I didn't feel like they were too heavy. Like, I felt like they were just exactly what they needed to be. And so I feel like for you, pile 3, it's just very optimistic energy from your inner child today. Really, the first message, though, is to remember to embrace play and joy and pleasure, that it's okay for you to have a good time and to express yourself in goofy, silly, unorthodox ways. It's okay for you to be seen in that way. And I do feel like here there's a real message of you finding inner peace and inner harmony, and it feels like a celebration. It feels like your inner child is really celebrating. There's an abundant time that's coming. If it's not already here, it's like you've done so much work. And I feel like, yeah, excuse me, I had the hiccups. I feel like for you, pile 3, there's been like a drag. Yeah. And hiccup again. There's been a drag of energy where it's like you're almost like ready to just throw in the towel. It's like been working so hard at this, and it's like I just need a sign. And I feel like the powerful message from your inner child is like, this is your sign. This is your sign that everything is as it's supposed to be. And I know things seem very stagnant right now. I know things seem very slow, but you're moving into a very expansive time frame. And oftentimes it's like the calm before the storm. That same energy happens before abundance. There's like calm before this massive drop of abundance in our lives. And it's like, oh man, I wish I could go back to the calm. But while we're in that calm period, we're like, nothing's happening. Like, it just seems like nothing's going on. Like, what do I do? What's going on? Like this, that, and the other. And they're saying, like, just enjoy this time. Enjoy that things are a little slow right now. Enjoy that things seem very, what's the word? I heard it, and then it went away. It's like very disconnected from what's going on in life. It's like feeling like maybe you're not manifesting, but they're saying you are. Your inner child is saying you are. It's like you're letting go of old belief systems. You're letting go of old patterns. You're letting go of that superficial things that you were chasing in life. Maybe you were really stuck on chasing money, fame, fortune, being that well-known influencer, being the only one known in your community, or whatever it was that you might have been chasing at one point in time. You're realizing that stuff doesn't matter. That what matters is inner peace, but it's still frustrating when you have this manifestation. You know it's okay to ask for this manifestation, and you're not yet seeing it in the physical. It is okay to feel that frustration, and that's what they're saying, but don't get stuck in the frustration. We want you to continue to stay in that harmonious state. I want you to continue to stay in that peaceful state, because things are balancing out, and you are about to receive this fair give and take situation in your life. It's like everything is finally coming to fruition. It's like all those things that you dreamt about, all those things that you asked for. And sometimes the reminder is that where you are right now is at one point in time was something that you greatly prayed for. And maybe because it's here now, you forgot that at one point in time you were praying for it. And so that's a message that's coming through, as well as just being grateful for every part of the process, because right now you are experiencing a part of life that at one point you just wanted so badly. right? And now that it's here, it's like you've moved on to the next goal, and the next goal is the only thing that's on your mind. But also just being so grateful for this process is a way for you to come into that state of balance and continue to stay in that place of balance. You're definitely doing something that's unusual that not everyone else does, or even if there's other people in the industry that you're in, it's like, it's just, you have your own give and take to that. You have your own energy that you bring to it, and you're very passionate about what you do. And so I feel like your inner child wants you to know that they're also very passionate, because you've given them a chance to express themselves in a very beautiful way. And that through that expression, that now it's like really owning the process and owning your inner light. So inner child pile number 3, what more would you like to say? This card really wants to come out. All right, what else would you like to say? Okay, thank you. One more. What else would you like to say here? All right, yeah, the Hermit in reverse. Yeah, there's a period of time where it's like hard for you to see this stuff that you have now, or the blessings that you have now, because of the fear of the future, wanting it to be bigger and better than what it already is. And then we have the Ace of Coins on the bottom, and it's in the upright, right? And that's what your Hermit is shining on this. And so your inner child is saying, like, it's coming, right? Your abundance is coming. You don't have to fear that. But I do feel like it's hard, because it's maybe an old pattern that's coming in. Something that's been hard for you to heal is the fear of that. Maybe because you grew up in a family with a lack mentality, or a family with a lack of self-belief, or whatever the process is that you were growing up in. It's like the fear, but you're slowly building, right? You're building these things. And they don't want you to get stuck in this place of being stubborn and refusing to change when you're already so confident with who you are. Don't get stuck in this old belief system. Don't. And that's what your inner child is here to say. It's like, you have so much going for you. You have so much coming for you, and you don't see it, because Source likes to give us surprises too, right? Like, I feel like even if you're someone that doesn't like surprises, it doesn't matter. Source still likes to surprise us with something that's like, oh, you didn't know that was coming, and you're so excited about it still, right? Like when you have all of a sudden a windfall of cash that you didn't know about, or when suddenly your business just goes big and you were like, wow, I've been waiting for this for so long. I'm so happy right now. That's the things that Source loves to do for us time and time again. And it's like, well, we always want to know exactly what's coming and when it's coming. You know, we're very nosy as humans and we want to know every little detail, and it's not up to us to know the little details. And that's what your inner child is saying here with these energies. Let's see. Yeah, this is hard. This is a hard thing for you, because this is dealing with a part of yourself that has been unclear in the journey. Right? It's like the unknown is a scary part of the journey here. And with the House of God and the Ace of Swords in the reverse, it's like actually facing the unknown and just saying, basically, Jesus, take the wheel. Right? For a lack of a better term, but that's the feeling here. It's like just letting the divine take over and letting Source just do what they do best. And your inner child is saying, like, we have to face this part of ourselves that we grew up in a family who didn't trust the unknown and had to have everything in order to move forward, or had to have control over everything. And we see here Source is even coming down to knock this emotional egoic part of yourself out of you, so that your spirit can reclimb the ladder and come back up here and be settled in the castle once again. And the emotional ego gets swept away, and you don't have to face that anymore. You don't have to really deal with that anymore, because you know a part of yourself has healed such a deep wound within yourself, or deep societal belief, or whatever it is. But with the Ace of Swords in the reverse at the middle of your deck, we see here that it's hard for you to trust, right? Because this is a gift from Source. This is a gift from the divine, okay? It's hard for you to trust that Source is going to gift you what you need, right? It's because you're not in control of that. And so that's what your inner child is coming in to say here, is like, there's parts of this journey that you will not have control over at all. And we don't want to focus on that. We don't want you to focus on that. We want you to refocus back on what you do have control over. And what you have control over, pile number 3, is the best thing ever. That's you. And that's what your inner child wants to say. It's like, let's go back into this hermit energy and really refocus on why is it that we're letting this misguided belief, this illusion, this old pattern in our minds. And this is something that's very much in the forefront. Like I see it in the frontal cortex is where they're showing me. So this is like at the forefront of your mind. It's actually blocking the third eye. And if you were to face this part of yourself, you would actually feel the abundance that's coming to you. And it's okay. It's okay. But your inner child's powerful message is that right now there's a fear that has been a fear within you since you were a child, since you were little. You might have learned this at the age of 9 or between the ages of 9 and 16. Like that could have been a very powerful, impactful time for you. Even as early as the age of 1 or 2. Like it could have been a very impactful time for you where people were instilling on you like, oh, abundance isn't a thing. Like you have to work hard to play hard, but then you don't even get to play at all. Like maybe you had family members who worked multiple jobs growing up, or you had family members who had to work a ton of overtime or who were absent because they were always at work and nothing was ever enough. And it's a misguided illusion that's coming to the forefront here. And your inner child is saying, when we heal this and when we face this and we understand that the divine is within us and we are the divine, and naturally we are in this abundant Ace of Coins state where everything that we desire and everything that we want we can have, and that source will answer that call and answer that prayer and that plea. But we must have faith and believe. If we don't believe, faith doesn't mean anything without belief. Like you can have faith and not believe, right? And that's two contradictory energies. But we have to have faith and we have to believe on top of having faith. And so here we see it's like at the forefront, it's like you may have faith that source is going to provide this for you. But what's having havoc on your journey right now is the thought process of, I don't really believe it. Right? And so your inner child is saying like, it's our right to believe 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock to make this progress, to change this and allow ourselves to integrate the fact. And the deepest truth within our journey is that we've taken action towards what we desire. We've done everything possible. And at this point, all we can do is let source take the wheel and do what source does, while we continue to show up and do what we need to do. So if you're building a business, that's showing up and still nurturing and taking care of your business every day and doing what needs to be done, checking things off the list and doing the mundane, right? But it's like the mundane has gotten monotonous, of course. And because it's monotonous, it's like, is anything ever going to change? And it's like, you're not seeing it. Like you have 1 or 2 clients who are like die-hard clients, and it's like, yeah, you're really grateful for them, but when am I going to have 100+ clients? When am I going to have even more clients? And it's like not looking at the blessings that you currently have because of the fear of the unknown, which is keeping you from enjoying this present moment. And that's what your inner child wants to bring you back to. It's time for you to embrace a sense of fun and play and let yourself be creative at this time, and to just sit back and know that your hard work it matters. It matters. And to not be in that energy anymore of like, oh, things don't work out for me. Things don't go my way. Things don't happen for me, because they are happening. It's just behind the scenes, and it's things that we can't see with our physical eyes. And that's what I'm saying. It's like seeing isn't believing. Believing is seeing. Right? And so when you believe, then you'll begin to see this. We have Pluto that flipped over and flew out. Transform. This is something you're meant to transform on your journey. This is something that you're meant to heal along your journey. Look, I cannot make this up. We have House 5 coming out again on the bottom. Passion, play, children, confidence, and creativity. So right now, it's like, I keep hearing, why so serious? I literally keep hearing that. So it's like, stop being so serious about the journey and let yourself enjoy the process. And that's what your inner child really wants. You might have resonated with one of the other piles as well. Or you could be here watching all 3 piles. And as always, if you've watched all 3 piles, I truly do appreciate you. Leave a purple heart down below and say I made it. I know what that means. And just thank you so much. But right now, what they're saying is that you have this opportunity to just let things happen and to really enjoy this downtime that you've been given, because when things get busy, they're gonna get really busy and you're gonna be wishing and praying for this downtime. But don't be in this energy of fearing the unknown, because the unknown is where magic happens. And that's what your inner child is trying to point out here. So we have the dilettante on the bottom. And light attributes, delights in the arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. The shadow attribute is pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. So we see that here, right? We see here it's like letting go of the superficial pursuit and really coming into this letting yourself shine just because that's who you are. Right? Don't get so caught up in the when is my abundance coming? When are the riches coming? When is the stability coming? When is all this coming? Because you have to find that all within yourself first. The outward realm is a manifestation of who we are. And I love this. We had the squirrel spirit flip out, believe in yourself. And I felt like that at the beginning, that there was an old belief that was coming out of where you grew up and family members or around family or people who didn't believe in themselves. And so something is so important here is just believe that you can. Believe. Belief is what your inner child is pointing out here. Belief. There's something about being able to believe in your ability, to believe in your right to manifest abundance, to believe that you're doing the steps necessary to get yourself to the next level. It's all about belief. Okay? We have bear on the bottom, brown bear spirit, take time out, right? This is healing your heart chakra here. Okay, we're trying to reconnect you with the love that resides from within. And beaver spirit with lay a solid foundation. So your heart is the key to having a solid foundation in your life. Okay, the more you heal your heart and the more you love yourself and embrace that you are capable of creating the life you desire, the more you lay a solid foundation within, and the more solid you feel within, the more you're going to manifest. And what do we have? Yeah, exactly. Life is speeding up. That's exactly what I was feeling. It's like you might not see it just yet, and there's going to be times coming in the future when you're praying for things to slow down. Right? You're going to be like, I pray so much for things to go back to how they were, but right now is a time of healing and laying this solid foundation and being playful. Look, I cannot make this stuff up. This is so profound. This reading, I love when the synchronicities are the way that they have been in all the readings today, because it's just so profound. Be playful. It is so vital for you to have a good time right now. It's necessary to your growth. And that's exactly what your inner child is trying to tell you here. Okay, so let's see what we've got going on here. Get one of these. Whoa, okay. You're getting 2 of these, actually, so I'll take it. We have look, purpose, shark. You're already on your path of purpose. I feel like you just question, like, when things come slow and when things aren't working out for you. Don't worry. I've done this, too. Okay, like, I've totally done this. Like, am I even doing the right thing? Like, nothing's happening. It just feels like everything's stagnant. It's like, I was always told, if you're on the manifestation journey, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. But sometimes it just feels like nothing, right? And that's what they say. It's like, those are those moments when we're dealing with those internal patterns that are blocking us. And so it's like, when you heal this and you really believe in yourself and you trust yourself, you're going to watch everything around you just take off flying. It's just going to go like crazy, right? Purification. Exactly. You're in a time of purifying your heart. You're in a time of purifying your soul. You're in a time of coming into deep cleansing, which is why everything is slowing down right now. This is a transformation, right? This is like giving you a clean slate. And that's what your inner child wants you to know. Have fun. Abundance is coming. Have fun. Believe in yourself. And squirrels also, if you look up the symbolism of squirrels, it's all about having fun. You ever see a squirrel not do nothing? No, they fall out of trees. They chase each other. Like the other day I was walking and I watched a squirrel fall three stories from a tree, land on its feet and scurry right back up the limb like nothing had happened. I was like, dang. Anybody else had fallen out of the tree? Whew, it would have been over. But that squirrel was on the run. Okay? Squirrels are crazy. They chitter at you, they bury things, they love to play, they chase animals, they chase each other. Everything is just a game to them. They climb all over everything like they're acrobats, right? So to play is something that is so vital for your journey here. Look, we have mountain with strength coming out on the bottom. You're stronger than you give yourself credit for. And it has been a long journey. And you have come a long way, right? And that's powerful. But don't give up on yourself now just because things seem a little stagnant. Instead, step back and say, what is this teaching me? What is this bringing me? What is this giving me? All right, let's get an Archangel Michael message here. Please have an Archangel Michael message. Put your creative energy into action. Archangel Gabriel joins me to spark your creativity, help you communicate your vision, and motivate you to create something beautiful. And we got that with House 5, creativity. Right? So you're getting help from the angels. You're getting help from your inner child here. You're getting clarity here with Archangel Michael's sword. The trumpet of Archangel Gabriel. It's like calling you home. Calling you back to that place where you know you are capable of anything and everything, and that miracles are a natural occurrence in life. On the bottom, we have number 2, angels of healing are with you. A time of healing is about to bless your life. Accept Archangel Raphael's emerald green light while I enhance your strength. This is very powerful, okay? This is very powerful. You're healing right now, and that is so amazing. Like, healing sometimes is the boring part of our journey, right? Because it's like, it's so necessary, but it just is so like, oh, okay, well, nothing really happens except you're healing, and you're crying, and you're purging, and you're shedding, and it's heavy, and sometimes that gets old too, but it's all with purpose. It's all for your greatest good. Okay, so we're going to get a shadow attribute that's at play here for your reading. On the bottom, we have crumbling. What you've built feels like it's falling apart. It's okay. You have the strength to build anew. And this is that attachment to the outcome. It's saying, like, can you release the attachment to the outcome, that it has to succeed. It has to do well. It has to become something big. Right now, everything feels like it's crumbling because it's stagnant, but it's not stagnant. You're in a period of healing. Okay? And that's what they're saying. Like, right now, instead of focusing on what it should be or what you think it should be, come into a space and saying, where am I at right now? What is this teaching me? What is the powerful energy I can take from this? So what do we have here? Like, child eternal. We have light attributes, determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit. The ability to see things with fresh eyes. The shadow is the inability to grow up and be responsible, and extreme dependency on others for physical security. So I feel like that's something that maybe you've seen in the past where you've dealt with people in your life who've either been completely dependent on you, and that's something that you're healing and trying to find stability for yourself. But also I feel like the main message from this is the ability to see things with fresh eyes. It's time for you to see this situation with fresh eyes and not get so caught up in what you thought it could be or should be, but rather open up to what its potential is. And be kind to yourself. With flying bat, our fruit bat and flying fox, we have kindness. This is so important for you to be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace. Give yourself kindness and compassion. And that's all your inner child wants for you, is for you to see life through the eyes of this beautiful, innocent child within you, and to know that anything is possible and that you can make anything happen if you but choose to believe it's true. Look, and we have owl with wisdom here, number 4, and finding stability in your journey. this is so powerful. You're being given a lot of wisdom here. Your inner child is extremely wise. I feel like you've been very wise your entire life, wise beyond your years. And it's like sometimes you feel disconnected from that wisdom. And part of that is because it's difficult for you to lean into that belief, the belief of anything being possible. Let's see what your shadow aspect is. Two-faced. Playing with your emotions is insincere and not who you think. So this is why it's like people that you've trusted and people that you believed in your life have played with your emotions. They haven't been sincere about how they've approached you, and it's been really hard for you to believe in yourself, because it's like if you're getting constantly bombarded with people who take advantage of you, or people who are two-faced, right? People who are one way with you but another way with other people who don't bring their truth to you, people who are very disconnected and wearing this mask. It's like at some point when you deal with that so much in your life, it's hard to see that that's not a reflection on you, or rather that's those people, right? That's on them. And yes, that is a mirror within us that we can heal within ourselves. It's not that we're two-faced. It just comes from, are we allowing people into our lives for the sake of allowing them because we need people to fulfill these labels? Or are we loving ourselves unconditionally? And that's where that comes from. But it's understanding that just because someone is jealous of you, or because someone is possessive of you, or because someone has betrayed you, or someone is manipulating you, none of that is because of you. What is because of you are the doors that are left open for those people to come in. And that's the only thing we have control over healing. And that's what your inner child wants you to know. You've healed those. You've healed those parts of yourself. You're not letting those people in anymore, but it's been really difficult for you to believe in yourself when maybe that's all you've dealt with your life, or very manipulative individuals, or people who have also said that there's no reason for you to believe in yourself, who have been very cruel or unkind, right? And your inner child is here saying like, no, see this with fresh eyes. See this as lessons learned, wisdom and knowledge gained, and experience into being completely kind and generous and loving of yourself. You are healing. You are healing here. So let's take a look at your talisman oracle. I'm going to read this from the book. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I love this pile 3. You've got rebirth. How strong and powerful is this message? So let's see. We're going to read this from the book. Let me open it up. Here's the insignia if you'd like to screenshot that and carry it with you. It says this card could be very positive in a reading. It could be. The rebirth card symbolizes the end of one period and the beginning of another. This card could also represent the release of a bad habit, an unhealthy attachment, a struggle, or the end of a vicious cycle. The moth is born at the end of a period of painful growth, and it's now able to fly. Energy never dissipates. It only changes from one form to another. But if you resist leaving behind the old path, you may experience some distress. Try to see the positive energy coming at you and the opportunity that you are being given. Leaving something behind and looking back could bring nostalgia and longing for the old days, but the future holds a different role for you. It's time to face it and start your bright new beginning. And this one doesn't have an affirmation on it, but it's so powerful because it's what we've been talking about this whole time, is like releasing those patterns of the past, those patterns that have been holding you in place, and beginning to believe in yourself. Even if everyone in your life didn't believe in themselves, or even if they said that you don't have a right to believe in yourself, that's not true. Your inner child is coming with this powerful message of saying we deserve to believe in ourselves because we are of the divine. The divine is an expression of us, and the divine wants us to live in a life of abundance because that's our natural state. And that's what we're healing here, is building up to this abundance from within ourselves. So it's so vital for you to learn to love yourself so deeply, but to see this with fresh eyes and let this healing come into your life as it already is, because abundance is just around the corner for you, pile number 3. I loved this reading. I thought this was absolutely beautiful. If you felt like this was your message, leave a little squirrel emoji down below and say, I choose to believe in myself and see my life right now with fresh eyes, knowing that I have abundance just around the corner. If you felt like this resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you will find all those links necessary to do so in the description box. You can email me for personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships, but if not, thank you for your continued support here. I am going to go ahead and leave this here, but I do want to send a shout out to your inner child for coming through on this message, to your angels, your guides, your spirit messengers, source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this incredible message. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.